Well, this is Bob Bachman, and he is my honoree tonight. He is the reason behind this speech, and I have my other audience members here. I have 4 adults, and they're gonna come down and sit down here. Here we'll get a quick clip of my audience members as they are sitting, and we will get readjusted here. Okay, there we go. Thank you for coming out tonight. I know this is kind of late, but I do appreciate you guys coming out tonight for this speech. Tonight I will be giving a brief speech about Bob and who he is to me and how he has impacted my life and why I consider him so special. Bob and Renee are both very special people to me, but for the purpose of my speech tonight, I will be focusing on Bob. So, I remember Bob way back when I was 5 years old. I was this little tiny blonde girl that was going to go cabin with him. I had my red and yellow work gloves on and my coveralls, and I thought I was pretty cool stuff going cabin. So Renee had packed us egg salad sandwiches, chips, and a juice box, and away we go. And we're cruising along on the four-wheeler once we get out there, and we're checking some cows, and Bob sees this little baby calf that he thinks might need some attention. So he says, "Kylie, I'm going to get off and check this calf, but you stay right here close, but you can drive in some small circles on the four-wheeler." Well, you know, here I am just yay tall, and I can't even reach the foot pegs on the four-wheeler, but I thought I can handle this. So I start making some circles, and I'm driving, and then my circles get a little bigger and a little bigger. And before I know it, here Bob is on a dead run after me with a mad cow chasing him, and he finally gets me stopped and jumps back on the four-wheeler. And I'm sure glad that cow didn't get him, because I might have been in some mighty awful trouble if it would have. So, Bob has been in the ranching industry for most of his life. He has been a ranch hand his growing up years and into his adult life. And so when him and his family moved to town, he has become one of the best feed store employees around. He continues to give his knowledge about feed and fertilization to customers and upcoming generations. I consider Bob one heck of a family man. He has found it important to attend his children's activities such as church, baseball games, band concerts, anything that their kids were doing, Bob was always involved in. And he even found it in his heart to attend events of mine as well. Now that his kids are raised, he has 2 granddaughters, which he adores greatly, and he is always their biggest fan and supports and loves them, whether he's there in person or just there in spirit. Now, when his kids still come home yet today, he might call me up and say, "Hey, we're going to dinner, come along with us." And of course, I'm right there in the middle of it, because Bob has always considered me one of his own. He has scolded me like his own, and he has loved me like his own. Bob is a man of God, not just because he goes to church on Sunday morning, but because he lives his daily life as a godly man. He is in the Word daily. He prays. He thinks it's important to have meals together as a family. And he fits what the Bible says a godly man should be. Now, you've all heard the old saying, a girl is most likely to marry a man like her father. Well, not me. If I marry a man, it will be someone like my uncle, hopefully someday. So, they all have, to meet a pretty high standard, so if there's anyone out there, they're probably not going to make the cut. He has a huge heart. His heart is as big as Texas. I mean, the little kids adore him. He adores little kids. You know, he helps in the church nursery. People love him and adore him for who he is. You know, the 3 of us, Bob and Renee and I, will do different things at times. But sometimes just Bob and I will be out fishing or walking aimlessly through Cabela's aisles just chatting about absolutely nothing. And I feel that our bond draws us closer together as we do that. You know, Bob has always had my back, whether it be a broke down car, a flat bike tire, or even late night texting wars over the president election results. You know, we're sitting there texting away at 1 o'clock in the morning just trying to figure out who's going to be the next president. So, thank you, Bob, for being the man you are today. Thank you for being someone I can look up to and lean on and get godly advice from. And thank you for showing me the qualities a man should have.